Good evening from Frisco. Fish at 6. Exclusive. We're loaded for bear. Give me about 16 minutes tonight. 16 minutes. And I will give you the Cowboys world. Thank you for subscribing to what we do here. Word seems to be getting around. We're growing by leaps and bounds. The same way that the Cowboys' confidence seems to be growing. Oh, boy. We were talking with Dak Prescott today, and can't remember who the reporter was. And the reporter says, are you, basically the question was, are you worried about your team getting full of itself? Basically, that was basically the question. And Dak's like, we're 2-1. Now Dak gave a great answer. He said, you guys, pointing at us, he said, you guys are the ones that make it sound like everything's terrible when we lose one game, and then all of a sudden everything's great when we win one game, and there's some truth to that. You know what? It was Clarence. And Dak's like, Clarence, it's week. We just played 3 weeks, and we're just 2-1. So Dak's right, and the media is wrong. And maybe we can get even more out of control excited if and when the Cowboys beat Carolina on Sunday. All your questions, everything, I would say that everything that you guys are asking, I've already prepared to answer. How do you like them Snapples? Let's find out if I'm right, shall we? Here, let me go to my notes. Okay. Randy Gregory was not a participant at practice today in any serious way. What I'm told is this is nursing a sore knee and not a serious issue. And so my expectation right now, as we sit here on a Thursday night, is that Randy Gregory will be fine for Sunday. Randy Gregory, Micah Parsons, and more trying to put a little pressure on Sam Darnold, who has the pedigree. We shouldn't be surprised that Sam Darnold is pretty good on a Panthers team that's pretty good because he's a pedigreed guy. We will monitor and be at the Star tomorrow and keep an eye out for Randy Gregory, but this should not be a Sunday issue as it stands right now. M checks in with a $1.99 pitch in. Oh, that's Mike Fisher as my dope dealer. Oh, because it's straight dope. And he says, I'm the GOAT. I believe I'm one of the top 500 sports media GOATs in DFW today. James Graves Jr., $4.99 pitching. You too can get your question answered. Guaranteed, unless I skip it or don't see it, by using the super chat mode. That is the Bree Fund. That's how we pay for Bree Amaranthus to do all the fabulous work she does for us, in addition to everybody else on the 75-member staff. James says, I support all that you do. Been listening to you for 10 years. Give me an emerging player on the defense that's quietly efficient. I can do that. Kearse. I haven't done this by benefit. As you know, I watched the scouts, and I'm a scout, and I graded the. Oh, by the way, now who was that? Where's that kid from last night? Where's Westy from last night? Westy's on here with like 1,000 questions, and he doesn't like my answers. It was about Jalen Smith. So finally, Westy puts a thing in there saying, Fish is full of it. Fish is making stuff up. Fish doesn't know how to watch film like I do, says Westy. Come over to my YouTube, and I'll show you how it's really done. And I'm like, actually, he said worse things than that. I'm like, and some of you guys who are on here know this because I've helped you, and I know that you'd help me. I've been around so long. I'm so old. I really am proud of the number of people who I've given advice to, or given a little boost to, or given a job to, or employ now. We have 22 people in our employ. I have 22 people that work for us, not 75 quite. We'll get there, but 22. I'm really proud of it. So I'm thinking, Westy, well, you got a website? Okay, I'll support your website. And I went over there, Westy, you're full of beans. There's nothing on there. You don't have any followers. You don't have any content. You don't have anything. So you want to come here and surf on my coattails? That's fine, but at least be polite about it. Dummy. Deed says, hello, I'm Mr. Fish from Hawaii. There's Elote's mommy, Amigo Army. Let's go, Dallas Cowboys. Sure, there's Roland's Reviews, one of our good friends. Asmodeus says hello to the fish. So does Diego. So does Kenneth Easley, who's an Uncle Fish Premium subscriber. Uncle Fish Premium is a nice, fun way to support the site, and it's a couple bucks, and I appreciate it. Of course, just subscribing, which is free, gets you plenty. Go Cowboys, Big Dak energy, says the lunatic. Yeah, in that Easter green 3-piece suit. He'll never wear that again. Cowboys fan, 1973, is an Uncle Fish Premium subscriber, says, hello, Fish from Illinois. Here's Jim Laws. Jim Laws is the police tonight. If Westy comes in here tonight, Jim, let's give him the old evil eye. Let's give him the old stink eye and see what he's got. There's Eddie Velasquez. There's Thomas A. Garrett Jr. What's Uncle Fish? Plenty. Will Gregory play, says Rito God, and my answer is yes. Jason, who's an Uncle Fish Premium subscriber. Hello to the biggest fish in the sea. I am definitely the finest sports media member in DFW named Fish. That one I got. Hi, Val Valentine. Hello, Tristan, tuning in from Idaho. Wildcat, Viva Boys. It's not very good Spanish, but okay. Roland wants to know about Randy Gregory's knee. We've covered that. It should not be a problem for Sunday. Living well. Fish, any rumors on us signing Gilmore? Not the way this team's going to fly. And we've seen that with the recent Richard Sherman handling. They just think they think they got it done. They think they're going to get it done the way they're getting it done. The lunatic, I like drunk fish better. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm strictly a vitamin water man. Vitamin water, proud not yet sponsor of the Fish Report. Sean Hackett. Old dogs gone, young pups here. We did a video the other day about how, or maybe it's coming. Maybe it's coming to a Fish Report near you. The presence of Michael Parsons is creating some youthful zip. And this is especially true of the new Cowboys who are still veteran Cowboys, the Keanu Neals and the KZs and those Malik Hooker. I think those kind of guys are energized by being around Micah. We will get to Micah's job, by the way, over the course of the next 17 minutes. Micah's job versus Carolina. Robert says, hello from Albuquerque, Fish rocks. Yeah, so the question about the under-the-radar guy. Kearse plays a lot of snaps. I'm surprised. He's more than just a special teamer. I'm surprised. What they've done with him, and this is a Dan Quinn specialty so far this year, kudos to him, because Kearse, in his career, is a part-time oddity because of his size, special teamer who never quite fit. He fits now. He fits here. Donovan Wilson did not practice again today. He's still hopeful of playing on Sunday, but there's Kearse, former Viking, former Lion, just in case, just in Kearse. That's my under the radar surprise. Shook, Fish, how do I get the Stars and Strife book? We have sold about 500 of those books in the last couple months, right? So here's how you do it. Go to PayPal and then find me at dbmrfish19@yahoo.com. $30 goes into that pot. Make sure I have your mailing address, and Marcia will get you that book the next day. Toot sweet. It is being re-reviewed now by fine connoisseurs of sports books, and they are right when they say what we've said. The players and coaches, even the ones that aren't, my pals, endorse the book as the truth, as a turning the thing around, Jimmy. Cowboys Super Bowl truth. Stars and Strife. Go to PayPal, dbmrfish19@yahoo.com. Get you some. You can also, Jim Laws will give you the address to go get yourself some Uncle Fish goods. Priscilla is waiting for your call. 09 Max, good evening, Fishmeister. That's the German. Doug Smith, do we pick up the running back Cleveland is dumping? What do you need a running back for? Oh, because you're worried about Tony Pollard? Tony Pollard, not injury related today. No issue. Just personal day for Tony Pollard. Should not impact his Sunday. And boy, has he been good, huh? And we have a story up at cowboyssi.com. And maybe this is the way the critics like to do it. Oh, him or him. Pick one. But why do you have to pick one tight end over the other? Why do you have to pick one running back over the other? Why can't you use Cedric Wilson? Meaning you don't have to pick one wide receiver over the other. They used the backup tight end and gave him 2 touchdown receptions. Some of it result of his fine work, Dalton Schultz. Cedric Wilson got a touchdown catch. It didn't matter that Lamb didn't, although he seemed like he kind of did. Didn't matter that Amari Cooper didn't have gigantic numbers. Doesn't matter which running back has the numbers. And in fact, in the usage of both of them have had numbers. But I think Tony Pollard is pretty secure as your number 2 running back. Thank you, James, for the kind words. Dwight, you're doing a great job, Fish. How can I become a channel member? Jim Laws will show you how you can become a subscriber or, if you please, an Uncle Fish premium subscriber. He'll give you a link and you can click it and away we go. Ralph, Fish, how's your day been? Well, it's good. My days are full with what counts as work, but I ain't tarring roofs. I get up at about 5:30 in the morning and start writing. I don't start texting or calling at 5:30 in the morning because that's rude. But about 7:30, that process starts. Sometimes we'll do a little radio. I go to the gym for an hour every day, and then I go to the Star, and I'm at the Star from whatever, 9 to whatever. And then we'll do a little radio in the afternoon. I'll go for a walk with my lovely bride for an hour. There's 2 hours of exercise a day. Keeps me from getting old. Well, okay, it keeps me from getting fat. It doesn't help me from getting old. And then we write, we broadcast, and we play with you. And cowboyssi.com. And of course, dallasbasketball.com as well, dallasbasketball.com. And as you might be aware, our Sports Illustrated work, as I have addressed here, is through the roof. It's the most successful thing that Sports Illustrated has ever done. And we are doing stuff in the NFL, in college sports, in basketball, and the NBA, right across the board. So come find us. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So my day's been great. Ben Perez says, I'm back. Welcome. Kevin Schaefer, is Pollard playing? He should be fine. Who would you put on the NASCAR team? Says Sean Hackett. Is that I'm not a motorsports guy. You mean like a track team? Doug Smith, no, Fish is a drinker, not a doper. What? Who? When? Where? Why? How? Yeah, as I've explained to Lunatic, thank you for reinforcing it. Pollard missed today for personal reasons. There's no reason to assume or suspect that he will miss on Sunday. Jonathan, bad time management. I know. You're not wrong. I think Coach is getting a little irritated at the line of questioning. Zimmeron Vance says, hit the like button. Zimmeron Vance has himself a Stars and Strife book. Alex Mata, what's up, Fish? Plenty. James Kirk, can we talk about the masterful play calling by Kellen Moore? We do have a video up and running that has Dak explaining how Kellen Moore is on fire and in a groove. Now, here's the thing, and this is the same thing with balance. We're going to be versatile. We're going to be multidimensional. We're going to be balanced. We're going to use 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, 5 wide receivers, all of it. You got to convert on third down. If you only run 3 plays in a series, you don't get to be very clever. You don't get to be very versatile. You don't get to show off your depth. It really helps that Tony Pollard, as a first down runner, has been like a downfield pass play. I think he's averaging 7 yards a carry on first down runs. Does that number sound right? So that helps Kellen Moore be masterful, but there's no question about it. Now, there's going to be dips, James, and then we're going to go, there's going to be games where they don't score 41 points, right? Then we're going to go, come on, Kellen, do something. But so far, so good. Dwight Pearson, Fish, how do I get one of them there exclusive shirts? The Priscilla store will tell you how to do it. In fact, Jim will tell you how to do it. Jim, will you put up a link to go get Fish Out, Straight Dope, exclusive, etc. My wife wears her Fish Out shirt. She wears it out, actually. And it's very popular in the grocery store. Max, no wine or beer tonight. I told you. Vitamin Water, proud non-sponsor of Fish for Dinner. Doug Smith, I've been listening to you since 1995 on 570 Cliff. And all that means, Doug, is we're getting a little white around the fringes. Stanley, Fish, thanks for the real talk about Jalen yesterday. Some of you were irritated by it. We have to separate our emotions from it. And I admit my fondness for this guy or that guy. I admit I'm aware of that. That might be a drop in the bucket into my view. And what I said yesterday is you should do the same thing. I think people have developed this unnatural and unwieldy hatred for Jalen Smith. And his play does not merit your hatred. Beto, we need to get Snacks Harrison. Snacks is a friend of the show. And the Cowboys flirted with that idea. I guess it was last year. And he was like, because he has Cowboy connections, local ties. And he was like begging them. And they wouldn't bite. Now, it's not like Snacks Harrison has gone on to prove that they were wrong on the field. But I loved the idea of Snacks Harrison then. I think this team now has probably had its fill of 32-year-old defensive linemen because that hadn't worked very often around here lately. Alex, Micah Parsons at end or linebacker? Micah's got a secret. Today, it was a little more linebacker than it had been in previous days, but somebody had, and yeah, this is why I like you more than I like Twitter. So he's saying, don't let that cat out of the bag. It's 20 minutes that the media gets to watch the early part of practice. It is not necessarily fully indicative of all the things that Micah did at practice. I do believe the Cowboys are smarter than that. That they're telling on a Thursday they're showing their hand in practice to Mike Fisher or DallasCowboys.com or whoever. I know Micah's smarter than that because Micah goes, I'm not going to tell you. Because I don't want to tell the Panthers. I want them to be on edge as to whether or not I'm on edge. Get it? Thank you. Sean Hackett is an Uncle Fish premium subscriber. Funny how the no leaders on the Cowboys BS went away. Here's how this works, Sean. The Cowboys go 12-4. Oh, man. That Romo, that Dez, that Sean Lee, that Witten, that Crawford, the Zach Martin, the leadership. The same, almost exact team the next year goes 4-12. Oh, they don't have any leadership. It's the same guys. The problem with us trying to measure leadership from the press box, the stands, or the TV is If the ball, which has points on it, bounces this way, they lose. And the leaders suck. If the ball, which has points on it, bounces that way, they win. And look at the great job that the leaders did. That's the truth. And Sean, I admire the fact that you recognize that. Austin, what's cracking, Fish? Plenty. Jerry Britt, Fish, you just tell it the way it is. There's not an agenda here, except when I tell you there's an agenda. Westy went west, young man. Matthew McQueen, how much do I have to super chat to be able to meet you and shake your hand at the Cowboys game this weekend? Says Matthew McQueen with a $4.99 pitch in. I will be there, Matthew McQueen. You know what? Take my email, dbmrfish19@yahoo.com, and let's see if we can't make that happen. Deal? Deal. Block him from the channels. And I guess we're talking about Westy. I want Westy to come in here and try to bring something to the table. This is something I've been doing since 1995 on the radio. You don't have to agree with me. That's not the point at all. In fact, sometimes the point is that we disagree. Sometimes that's the whole point. Bring something of value to the table. Don't lie. Don't make up your resume. Don't rip the people who disagree with you. Bring something of intellect to the table. Same thing if you're a troll. I invite trolls. Just make sure you're clever. If you're a not funny troll, you're in the wrong business. Scott Hanna with a $5 pitch into the Uncle Fish super chat. When Gallimore is healthy, who starts, him or Osa? I think Gallimore is an established, in this staff's mind, NFL starter who can do multiple things. That is to say, I mean, I think they think that he's big enough that he can run, stop, and all the rest. That doesn't mean that Osa doesn't have a place. Osa's been nothing wrong with him, but I think Osa might be more utility, maybe. Tyrone Crawford-ish, maybe. Chris G. Dan Quinn has this defense energized. It's not that Mike Nolan is an idiot and that Dan Quinn's a genius. It just so happens that this group didn't believe in Mike Nolan. It didn't click. And this group believes in Dan Quinn. And that's meant everything. The Lunatic says, I'm feeling a 3-1 vibe. I can buy it. Wildcat, Schultz is a better blocker. I agree. Let's let the season play out before we say he's a better tight end than Blake Jarwin. Although, as we said yesterday, Fish, you were wrong about this. Okay. This week, I was really wrong, and good for Dalton Schultz. Michael Rodriguez, I will be there this weekend. Would love to meet you. Email me, dbmrfish19@yahoo.com, and let's see if we can find a way. Jose, Fish, what's our weakest link in this defense? I thought it was defensive tackle. This coaching staff and scouting department might turn out to be right. That we went and grabbed just the right amount of bodies and just the right kind of bodies. They might be right. I hope they are. Matthew Nocho, is Randy Gregory hurt? Randy Gregory's got a little knee thing that he's nursing. David Beatty, they better re-sign Schultz now. Why? Because he scored 2 touchdowns? David, I would like to invite you to my fantasy football league. I love you, David, so don't get mad at me. You want to sign? Yeah, last week you didn't think 2 bits about Dalton Schultz. Now he's got 2 touchdowns. You want to sign him? No. Wait until after he has a bad week. And if you think he's a good player, that's when you can go try to sign him to a new contract. But listen, all you guys in fantasy football that are gobbling up Dalton Schultz, God bless you. Abel, are we going to be able to keep Moore and Quinn past this year? If you get your dream, Cowboys win the Super Bowl, both those guys are gone. And you do want your dream, don't you? SD says, I think McKeon may be better in both. At what? Bibliophile, with Steele looking solid, will Nseki be cut? I haven't asked about that. I'd like to see Ball come on before you made some drastic move like that. SD, I say pay Wilson today. Okay, now there you go, Donovan Wilson, and you, hey, Donovan. And by the way, I don't know the contractual status of these guys. Is Donovan Wilson the last year of his contract? I'm assuming based on this conversation, he is. Hey, Donovan, you're hurt all the time. We can hardly get you on the field, but we sure do like you. Can we please give you a crappy offer so you stay? Yeah, you could do that. Lassay Williams, bless you. Yeah, sometimes I could use it. Jim Laws has Dalton Schultz on his watch list in fantasy. That's good. Joseph Cologne, some struggles with Tyler Biadasz at center. He has gotten pushed around a little bit. Now, he's going against, these last couple weeks, some push around defensive linemen, but it's true. How long is Quinn under contract, says Double Star? Doesn't make any difference if he gets a head coaching job. Doesn't matter if he's got a 1,000-year contract. Jermaine Stern, we're still giving up over 300 yards passing. Are you sure? You look that up. Are you sure? The Cowboys have given up 900 yards passing? Or better yet, 300, 300, and 300? Are you sure? I rarely question the wisdom of the contributors to this program. Rarely. This is the finest in the land. Jalen Hurts did have 326 passing yards, though. Now, let's be real about what Jalen Hurts did, okay? Because it looks like your number thing might be funny. Jalen Hurts is not a threat to beat you as a passer. He's not. So, having watched that game and been at that game, as I'm sure many of you were, can we suggest that he got garbagey junk yards? Is that part of it? And then can we suggest that if I'm an Eagles fan and I lost 41-21 and I'm trying to hang my hat on, yeah, but we threw for 300 yards. Well, yeah, that's true. But you only handed off to your running back twice. Does that matter? By the way, Justin Herbert, 338 passing yards. So you're right, Jermaine Stern, you're right about the numbers, but I think it'd be wrong to say, and therefore. How many points did you give up, Jermaine Stern? This is a league, you can't give up 17 and 21 points in this league. In this league, with these rules? But that's what the Cowboys done in the last two games. Michael Aldridge, thoughts about our weakness at center. You're getting pushed around a little bit at center. I think when we call it a weakness, Michael, at center and left guard, I think we're talking relatively. Compared to left tackle and right guard, it's a weakness. Joseph Passarella, he received his book today, The Stars and Stripes. Thank you for ordering it. John Bean, the Bean family loves you. That's John Bean, his wife Charlene, and all the little beans. Joseph Cologne, the draft gods gifted Micah to the Cowboys. That's a weird way of looking at it. Is that how this works? Now, Joseph, listen, again, we're pals. I'm the one that broke the story about the Cowboys trying to trade up to 6 to take a cornerback. So you don't have to tell me that the Cowboys would have taken a cornerback over Micah Parsons, even though Micah Parsons was higher rated on their board. That's a weird way to do your board, but that is a fact. And I reported that on draft night. But you can't say that Patrick Surtain might not have come here and gone to Hall of Fame. How do you know? How do we know? The draft gods didn't move Micah Parsons here. This team thought Micah Parsons was the best defensive player in the draft. Not all teams thought that. Now, you can say it's a good thing that J.C. Horn isn't here since he's out for the year, right, with Carolina? Except maybe he wouldn't be out for the year if he played for Dallas. So this is a silly game. Empty calories, says Keith Tyler. You threw for 300 yards. This is a great point about judging what your pass defense has really been. Hey, they threw for 300 yards against us. I know, but we won 41-21. What they gained were empty. Thank you for straightening us out there. Jared Jablonski, the Cowboys will be 3-1. I think that's a sound prediction. Mark says have McGovern play center. He can. I tell you what, who's an Uncle Fish premium subscriber? I'm still mad that Jabril Cox hasn't taken Leighton Vander Esch's Jalen spot. Why? Why are you mad? The last 2 weeks, you've given up 21 and 17 points, and you've won both the games. Why are you mad? Smash the like button, says everybody. Antoine V, how do you see our draft next year? No idea. Nor do they. If you had Will McClay sitting right here and said, Will, what do you think of the draft next year? He would say the same thing I'm saying. I don't. Well, no, I mean, he thinks about it, but that's my answer. I don't. SD, I really like what Steele has shown this year. I get to say I'm wrong about that. Coaching staff was right in hanging on there. Good for them. Questions about who comes off the roster when this guy comes back? Don't forget about the wild card, COVID. Like pre-COVID, it was easier to say, well, listen, that's the 53rd guy. So they'll move him down, they'll move him up, they'll move him to the practice spot. But now with COVID, don't you hold your breath. By the way, Keanu Neal's still in the COVID protocol. So is Bradley and I. Somebody's got to take Anthony Brown's spot. Anthony Brown, friend of the show. And you know what? You're right. Somebody's got to take it. Who? Boss Man Fat, not ready to come back. That's going to be a few weeks. Thank you for the question, Kim. A few more weeks for Boss Man Fat. So he's not going to come off IR and that week go start in front of Anthony Brown. So somebody's got to take it, but there's some reason that nobody is taking it, right? They don't have a better cornerback than Anthony Brown to play opposite Diggs. Anthony Brown, by the way, again, we're ripping Anthony Brown for mistakes that have been made over the course of the month. Anthony Brown got an interception and was part of a starting defense that allowed 21 points. Fish, says Stephen Griffin, address the elephant in the room, Mike McCarthy's clock management. Well, we did address it the other day. We did a full video on it, but I can touch on it again. We did about 40 minutes on it on someday some smart NFL head coach is going to hire an asset management coach, an AMC. AMC. And the AMC is going to have an iPad with all this information, computerized information, and he's also going to have a mathematical brain, and he's going to say, Coach, here's what the book says, Stephen. Here's what the book says about this situation. You got a 2nd and 9. Here's the score. Here's how many timeouts you have. Here's how much time is left. And the book says, kneel, throw, kick. Very few head coaches, very few humans have the brain to do that and all the other things that a coach is asked to do during a game and during the week. Asset management coach, AMC. Somebody's going to do it someday. The reason why they don't, Stephen, is because then it would be an admission. Do you think I'm dumb? No, I don't think you're dumb. I just don't think you can do 10,000 things at once. And I don't think Mike McCarthy could do 10,000 things at once. RJ Key with a $10.53 pitch in to the Super chat. Let's be real. Van Der Esch has done nothing wrong in the past other than getting hurt. Would you take Sean Lee all over again? We need to support this guy and watch him howl. They haven't paid Leighton Van Der Esch gigantic money yet. And this is a salary cap sport, so that gets to be a consideration. And for that reason, RJ Key, I agree with you. They haven't locked in. In fact, they did the opposite, didn't they? They didn't pick up his fifth-year option at $9 million because of the injury thing. So they've played it smart. Michael Aldridge, I'm donating $9.99, and I'm donating again because, Fish, you deserve to eat something better than pizza rolls while your wife is gone. Not to mention how right I was about Schultz and how wrong you were about Jarwin and Schultz. Damn it. You're right again, Michael Aldridge. Eric Lopez, I thought Ben McAdoo was the AMC. Nobody will say that because coaches don't want to admit that their brains can't do it. Ben Perez says, I have the brain for that. You are hired, sir. Double star, I'd take a healthy Sean Lee. Nobody was better. But, and so the question asked in the super chat is a good one. Would you spend, if you had to go over again, and you knew his career was going to go like this, would you spend a second-round pick on Sean Lee? I don't think it's an easy, and I love Sean Lee. I don't think it's an easy answer. Fish, the safety position says APJ. You must be old because you're talking about the 92 Cowboys and some of my guys. Washington, Everett, Ray Horton, and then Woodson was later, right? Man, Thomas Everett. Thomas Everett was my guy and still is. I'm still in contact with Thomas Everett. What a tremendous guy. James Washington. What a trip. Ray Horton. I was talking to him one day and we were talking about his favorite authors. And he goes, my favorite author is Clive Cussler. I think that's his name. And this is 1992. And I'm going, Clive Cussler? And I'm going, no, I'm talking about like people that write books. He goes, Clive Cussler. I go, no, I'm talking about like Mark Twain. And so he made me go look up who Clive Cussler was. And I guess Clive Cussler writes like cowboy adventure books. So I wrote in a story one time that Ray Horton, I said, Ray Horton, the highly eloquent member of the Cowboys defense, and he came into my office at Valley Ranch the next day with the newspaper, and he was pissed. I go, what? And he goes, why is it such a big deal that I'm eloquent? I go, what do you mean? You're eloquent. He goes, have you ever written that a white guy was eloquent? Ray Horton. Pretty good. So have we covered? I said, God, it's been 39 minutes. I say 17, then look what happens. Sons of bitches. So let me rattle through what I think's what, okay? I've got my hot list here. Somebody asked about Tristan Hill. Yeah, still on your injured list. Hey, Eagles fans. The reason you're not getting Deshaun Watson is because he would veto a trade to go to Philadelphia. And that's a fact. We covered Pollard and we covered Gregory. Should not be problems for Sunday. We will monitor Gregory. It's a minor knee thing, hopefully just nursing it. A personal day, basically, for Tony Pollard. Zeke, talking about balance. And his quote is, everybody can eat. And then we've got a video on this, and I want you to go find it. I want you to think about, if you don't mind, what I'm saying there, if you would take the moment to do that. So Panthers coach Matt Rule says that Dak reminds him of Peyton Manning and Drew Brees. And I ask you, is that a sincere football evaluation of what Dak's done? Or is he pumping sunshine up Dak's skirt, or a combination of the two. Yeah, I've tried to make this clear, the lunatic. Thanks for reinforcing. No, you're not. These guys that you're talking about are not coming back this week. Bossman Fat is weeks away. Gallimore is weeks away. And I don't know. I have McKeon's weeks away too, but I don't know why you're asking about McKeon. I'm not sure what the fascination is with McKeon. And so there you go. We will be at the Star tomorrow for more exclusives. P. Van Bortel. Do you think we should add a pass-catching blocking fullback? No, fish out.